Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris. Today's video is all about addictive scents. And when I use the term addictive, what I'm saying is that when I spray these particular fragrances, I cannot keep myself from smelling my arm, smelling my wrist, wherever I sprayed the fragrance. I find myself doing that throughout the day. I did the same video, I think about 2 years ago, and honestly, I didn't even check to see if I had any overlap. I'm just telling you the fragrances that I find the most addictive right now currently are going to be in this video. And I'm going to start with an incensey vanilla fragrance. Man, those are some of my favorite fragrances in the colder weather. And the one that I find is just, well, I find many to be quite addicting, including this one right here, World According to Arthur. I love the Penhaligon's portraits. This one's a pretty fun bottle. But this is a incensey vanilla that's not overly smoky. It's not overly heavy or sweet. It has some, it has some balancing notes. For one, it has a little bit of grapefruit. It has, I want to say sage, perhaps thyme in the opening, and musk. It has a lot of musk in the background. It does wear on the lighter side, but the dry down is just so addictive to me because it's woody and incensey and sweet, but not overly sweet. And it has this very nice musk, gentle ambrette in the background. Man, do I find this quite attractive. Many of you might find it frustrating because it doesn't last forever, but that's okay by me. The next one is one of my favorite Bond Number 9 fragrances. I think it's a very polarizing scent. You either love it or you hate it, and I fell in love with it when I smelled it for the first time in downtown Chicago. I was smelling all the Bond Number 9 fragrances, and I smelled this the year it came out, and oh my gosh, I knew I had to have a bottle. I waited a little bit for it to go in the gray market, and then I bought like 3 bottles of it. It's New Bond Street. This is a chestnut forward fragrance. It's toasty, it's chestnutty, it has vanilla, it has cacao, but it also has, a little bit of a pepper. It has pepper in the beginning, some patchouli, so that pepper is a little bit heavy in the beginning, some spices, a little bit milky. Maybe it has a lactonic. I don't know if it has milk as a note or an accord, or that's just sandalwood I'm smelling. A little bit of cinnamon. I used to have a friend who said I smelled like Cinnamon Toast Crunch when I wore this, and I love to wear it in the wintertime, and I'm just smelling myself all day when I spray that one. I'm going to go with one of my favorites in my collection, Ivory Route. I'm a broken record. It's a beautiful, spicy sandalwood fragrance with a little bit of incense and a sneaky vanilla. So it's very spicy in the beginning. It's very incensey in the beginning, very warm, and it dries into this beautiful vanilla. Vanilla is not listed, but I'm telling you, it's in there. And I have other people who smell it on me when they smell it. This is the only fragrance that Picky Cheyenne ever said that she liked on me. And she was smelling the vanilla and the dried, and I said, what do you like about this fragrance? If you don't know, Cheyenne is one of my coworkers, and she hates literally everything I wear. But this one is the only one that got me tremendous compliments from Cheyenne, and it's because she smelled the vanilla in the base. Intoxicating scent. The next one is one of my favorite rose fragrances. I have spoken about it a ton of times, but it just has a very addicting, it just has a very intoxicating dry down, and this is Atomic Rose. A beautiful ambery vanillic rose that is similar to, I know a lot of people compare this to Delina. This is Delina's sexy older sister. In my opinion, Delina with a red lip and a black leather jacket. It has a lot of, so none of that rhubarb. It has a lot of pink pepper in the beginning, but the dry down is absolutely stunning. And I just keep smelling my wrist, smelling my clothing all day when I wear this beautiful fragrance. The next very intoxicating perfume that I love to smell on myself is Indigo Tanzanite. It is a patchouli fragrance that has a lot of, this is a very sweet patchouli scent. So this is an ambery, resinous, sweet patchouli. I almost get something, instead of the patchouli smelling like chocolate, like dark chocolate, and patchouli can smell like chocolate all the time, the patchouli in here smells like white chocolate. I get like this white chocolate vibe. And I think it's because like the almond and the milk combining together with all the other notes with the amber smells like white chocolate. So I do get this lovely, creamy white chocolatey nuance that never goes lactonic. It is a little bit on the quiet side, and I just adore it. I find it very addictive and one of the very few patchouli scents that I wear to work because it's not super loud. The next one is one of my favorite perfumes in the house of Navitus. Of course, I love many in that line, and it just really speaks to me. I find it very, very appealing. When I wear it, I'm constantly sniffing my arm. I'm constantly trying to catch wafts of my sillage, and it is Splendeur Absolu. So I would describe this is a vanilla perfume, but it's very unique. It's spicy, it's vanillic, it's a little bit boozy, it's musky, and it's woody. Now, I've had people ask me here and over on Instagram, does it smell like Babycat? I can see where people are going with that, but this shares almost zero notes with Babycat. This has zero incense. This has zero suede. This has no leather. This has no pepper. So those are the big notes in Babycat. This has none of that. This has a little bit of cardamom. It's not really over the top. It's musky, it's vanillic. It has some tonka in the background. I want to say it has a little bit of chocolate, dark chocolate. And in the opening, I get this beautiful lemon curd type of a vibe, which fades, and then it becomes a musky, woody, spicy vanilla that's very, very smooth. It reminds me more of Rosenda Matu. So the musk in Rosenda Matu is in here, but it's way toned down. So in that respect, I can see where the two are similar. I like this one so much better. Rosenda Matu was way too much. It was too loud. It gave me a headache, and it smelled like rubber, burnt rubber tires. I get none of that in here. It's very, very smooth. So one that I just find so addictive and yummy. Another one that I find very addictive and delicious and appealing is Sandalwood Temple by Saint Jardin. This is a very buttery sandalwood. It's very quiet. It has a little bit of florals, maybe a touch of incense. It's very, very soft. And I find it very contemplative. It's a quiet, soft, contemplative fragrance. Very professional, very good for work, quiet luxury. Something nice after bath or at bedtime. This does remind me of Santal Carmen. So if you have that, you don't need this, but a lovely sandalwood scent. I am just noticing that these are all on the high side, and I apologize. Again, I do tons of videos dedicated to affordable options. These are all, as I'm looking at them, on the higher side. It is what it is. The next one I find quite addictive and intoxicating is Hypnotizing Fire. There's something about, it's very unisex. It's very sexy. It's very unique. This reminds me of like a sangria. If you swapped some of the fruits that are in sangria with rose and a little bit of like a Sichuan pepper, you would come up with this fragrance, a little bit of patchouli, amber. Oh my gosh, this is just a stunning fragrance. It has terrific longevity, terrific sillage, another compliment getter for sure. Another one that's quite intoxicating is Sugar Leather by Une Nuit Nomade. So yes, this does have leather, but it smells more like an apple pie. It has more of that apple pie vibe going on than leather. So leather is in the background, but it's more of a cinnamon fragrance. Lots of cinnamon, caramel sweetness, leather, very ambery, very resinous, very intoxicating. And this is great for holidays. This just reminds me of the holidays. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, family get-togethers. Oh my gosh, love this. But you do have to be a fan of cinnamon. The only attar I have in my collection, and I wouldn't recommend this for anybody other than those who love the Babycat vibe. This is Vanilla Barka by Amouage. And this is a straight up attar. The only one I have. They are very, very expensive. I did find a good deal on this, so that's why I picked it up. And it is another one by Dominique Lopion. So this is vanilla, frankincense, and tonka. This is straight up just the oils, and it is so luxurious. I put like 2 little dabs on my wrist, and that's all I need. And I can kind of smell the wafts coming through my clothes throughout the day. But even so, I'm always sneaking some sniffs of my wrist because it's absolutely intoxicating. And again, Only recommend this if you are a huge fan of the Babycat vibe like I am. They are different, but obviously very, very, very similar, with that one, Vanilla Barka, being much more concentrated. The next fragrance I find quite addictive and intoxicating is apparently a perfume that's quite controversial. I do not know how people get, like we all smell different things. This is Vanille De Tahiti. I've had people tell me that it smells like a barnyard to them. It's very animalic, and I get zero. Thankfully, I get none of that. I find this absolutely intoxicating. However, and nobody in my family gets it. My entire family loves this perfume. But because of that, I would strongly recommend sampling, obviously. But it's ylang ylang, it's champaca, and it's vanilla. And champaca to me smells like a peach tea. So it's lots of vanilla, a little bit of that champaca, so a little bit of that peach tea, and some lovely ylang ylang, which is on the banana side. It almost smells like a banana pudding. So again, I find this absolutely intoxicating, and I'm so glad I don't get that, you know, stinky barnyard stuff that other people do. I find that very interesting and funny. Another intoxicating, addictive combination is Babycat, also done by Dominique Ropian. Again, vanilla incense, suede, spicy masterpiece. This has a very strong leather suede accord, which can be tough for me, but I find it just incredibly addictive because the vanilla and the incense is blended so well. And in the end, the vanilla and the incense win out and kind of smooth out the leathery edges. There's not as much spice in this as there is in Oh the Audacity, and they're one and the same. That's why I'm only showing Babycat. But oh my gosh, so intoxicating, and a beautiful dry down. A new pickup for me from the house of Liquid Imaginaire is Âme Du Coeur. This is so invigorating. It's intoxicating, it's invigorating. It's fresh and juicy without falling into that trap of being a summer freshie, because it has a lot of really balancing notes. So this is blood orange, lots of blood orange, some pink pepper. So a very, very invigorating fragrance, but it has some spices. I want to say a little bit of cardamom. There is some evergreen in here, whether it's fir or it's cypress. And I just find this incredibly intoxicating, very much a year-round scent, a little bit of amber in the dry down. I wear this to work. It wears lightly, has a small, tight scent bubble, but I have had people comment on how good I smelled when they came up really kind of close into my area. And this is very, very much a year-round scent and unisex, but there's something about it that's quite delicious. The next one is a newer pickup for me from the house of Ormonde Jayne. I have so many in that line. I think it's a fantastic line, but one I find very, very addicting, and I keep smelling my wrist all day, is one called Damask. So this is a fruity rose. Oh my gosh, it's so yummy and juicy and addictive. It's a fruity take on a rose scent, and it's similar to Delina, but it has no sharpness. Delina has that sharp rhubarb. This has this juicy, soft black currant that just smooths everything out. A little bit of, musk in the dry down. Maybe it's got a little bit of citruses, but a beautiful take on a fruity rose that is quite addictive. And if you like something like Delina but thought it was too harsh, too screechy, too sharp and bitter in the top, this is a beautiful take on that, that DNA. I have a few more, but that was it. I'm going to call it quits since this is my second video of the day. My first video being my top 50 in my collection, so I'll need to wet my whistle. I'm a little bit parched. Let us all know down below what your favorite intoxicating, addictive scents are. Fragrances that you spray, you just find yourself sneaking sniffs of your wrist, of your arm, wherever you sprayed throughout the day. Thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for watching. If you got anything out of my content, I would love a thumbs up. And if you're not yet subscribed and you enjoy my content, I would love for you to join my YouTube family and subscribe and hit that subscribe button. So thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for watching. If you have any content you want to see me do before the end of the year, let me know down below. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.